How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm back on the Great Ocean Road. I had such a good time exploring the Otways last time around, when my planned high country trip fell through due to wild weather and fires along my intended route. I couldn't resist but to come back here. I feel like I say this about every place I travel to, but the Otways has to be one of my favorite places to visit. There's a pretty big diversity in landscape and terrain here, which is ideal for adventure riding. I'm here solo for the next few days to explore some of the tracks and to camp in the national park. After not riding for the past 6 weeks, there's no better way to start than in the sand on the east side of the park. The plan for today is to ride southwestbound across the national park and explore the area from Anglesey down to Cape Otway, where I'll be making camp on the beach tonight.
It's been a long night.
Today's 180-kilometer route through the park would consist of sandy tracks in the morning, dirt and gravel tracks this afternoon. This is a good warm-up for tomorrow. I'll be tackling the tracks on the coast near Cape Otways in the morning. I hear the tracks out that way have some fairly soft sand.
Black skies glowing.
The tracks are drier than the last time I was here, and the sand is definitely softer. Apart from getting stuck once or twice in the soft sand and ruts, for the most part, it's been a very cruisy ride.
On a different body, I need to. I need to find somebody. Black skies glowing.
Having built up quite an appetite riding across the sand, I couldn't help but to stop somewhere along Gentle Annie track for a bite to eat. I've kept things fairly simple for this trip, a 600-gram slab of biltong, and roughly the same in French saucisson. Bought some bread and turkey before heading into the park, so it'll be cured meat and sandwiches for the trip. As I'll be riding through a fair bit of sand on this trip, I've kept my kit light and shaved off almost 2 kilos, leaving my chair and cooking kit at home. Still having 130 kilometers of tracks and gravel road to cover today, and being behind schedule, I pushed on westbound across the park. This afternoon ride would mainly consist of gravel roads and dirt tracks down to Cape Otway.
Cold and dry.
Stopping in Apollo Bay for some much-needed fuel, I would soon set my sights on Blanket Bay. I'm pretty keen to be camping out here tonight. I was lucky to be able to book a spot here on short notice. This place usually books out quickly. Not wasting time in setting up camp, I grabbed a bite to eat and went off to explore the area. This place is pretty amazing. The grim weather and roaring seas just adding to the charm of it all. The landscape here feels like I've landed on a distant planet, with a mixture of sandy beaches and what seems to be a blanket of volcanic rock taking up much of the coastline. I ended up exploring the shoreline until the sun went down that evening, which made trekking back to camp in the dark amongst the sharp, slippery rocks a very interesting experience. Note to self, bring your flashlight next time. This morning, I'll be exploring the coastline tracks from Cape Otway area to near Princetown towards the west. From there, I'll ride towards the north of the park. I'm not entirely sure where I'll be staying tonight. Probably somewhere near Zayas Crossing or Stevenson's Falls. Definitely somewhere with a freshwater source. I've been looking forward to today's ride and exploring this side of the Otways. Last I came here, my mate's bike built up a pretty bad clutch issue, which led to us not being able to explore the tracks in this area. After a quick stint on gravel, I'd be hitting sand. At this stage, I was glad I got to shake off my demons on yesterday's ride. I'm definitely feeling a lot more comfortable on sand today. I've really been enjoying riding sand lately, but even with a lightened kit, I still feel the bike is a little too loaded up. For future sandy adventures, I'll definitely have to make a lighter kit. For the most part, the sand around here has been very manageable, with the odd soft and deep section. Out of the sand, I stopped for lunch at a lake near Princetown. From here, I'd push on northeast. By now, I had decided to head to Stevenson's Falls and check out a few of the dirt tracks along the way. With all the technical riding behind me, this afternoon's ride will consist of fast, flowy trails and gravel roads to Stevenson's Falls. Stevenson's Falls is a pretty awesome spot to camp out. It's a free campsite that houses a fairly large waterfall at the end of a 3-kilometer hike. It's a pretty popular spot, but being a Thursday, there's hardly anyone here. The waterfalls is the main reason I came to camp here tonight. After 2 days in the saddle, sandy track and salty air, I really want to freshen up under the falls. The hike to the waterfall is a very relaxed one, following the river and cutting through a small redwood forest before arriving at the base of the waterfalls. In all honesty, this is exactly what I needed. A short break and a bit of caffeine, and I'm off again to capture the sunset. It's funny to think how this somewhat poorly half-planned trip turned out to be quite an awesome adventure. Today, I'll be making my way back down to the coast. The planned ride for today would be an easy one. Gravel roads until Lorne, I'd then ride the Great Ocean Road to Torquay and take the highway back home to Melbourne. Packed and ready to hit the road, this unfortunately brings another trip to an end. As always, Thank you so much for watching along, and I'll catch you in the next one.